driving the brand new Mitsubishi Outlander, and you must know, if you know any of my reviews, how much I love a 7-seater. Not so much because of that extra row of seats, but because it means that extra row of seats, when flattened, gives me a much bigger boot. Just means that I can swallow up all of my luggage and then sometimes have a bit of space left over for my husband and child, do you know? Because that's only fair. It's got 650 litres of boot space in 5-seater guys, right? But even with the 7 seats all up, you can fit quite a bit behind that last row of seats, which is quite impressive. That third row of seats is very small. I say this about most 7-seaters. It's going to be for a child, right? A tall adult, you cannot put in the back, and certainly not for a long distance. It would have to be like just down the road, maybe, that you've put some poor soul into that last row of seats. Because even if the legroom is okay, the headroom is not, etc. The second row of seats, however, is quite impressive in terms of space and comfort, actually. But they're able to slide forward and back and recline quite a bit as well. So there's definitely enough legroom. So with Luca's car seat in, husband in front passenger seat, everybody's comfortable except maybe anyone who's going to be in that rear seat. But again, I would have those folded flat so that I've got enough space for all my cargo. You've got a 9-inch touchscreen. I actually think it's fine. Some people have made comments about the fact that it's not as big as, say, something in the X-Trail. I think it is, but I think it's big enough. I don't think we need, you know, sort of television-sized screens in our cars. The graphics are very good, except for the rear-view camera. That is not great. It's almost quite blurry, in fact. But again, I don't know if that's going to be such a problem for people. It doesn't really bother me. You can still see if there's something behind you, so you still don't have an excuse to crash into it. It also has these lovely drive modes, which, if it's going to snow in Joburg again, you're going to really be grateful to have this, obviously. But anyways, it sort of goes into gravel and rut. You can also put it into eco. Now, speaking of eco, right, so this has got a 2.5-litre naturally aspirated engine. It's been around for some time. It's got 135 kilowatts of power and 245 newton meters of torque, mated to a CVT. And therein lies the problem for me, is that there's only one engine available, which is this. And from a fuel consumption point of view, I'm sitting at 10.7 litres per 100 Ks, which is just far too high. You can get it down, I would say, to around 9 litres, maybe even lower if you drive very mindfully. But unfortunately, that is quite high. Overall, though, the drive is really comfortable. It's riding on 20-inch wheels, and I don't think I would have been able to tell you that, because it's kind of just softly going over everything, which is kind of sometimes unusual. It's also super quiet in here. There's very minimal road noise, very minimal wind noise. I think just overall just feels like a very well insulated cabin, and somewhere I'd be happy to be most of the time. So this comes in at around 760,000 Rand. And yes, you can get a Fortuner for that price, of course. But again, I feel the Fortuner is just a little bit too industrial for my liking compared to this. It's going to come down to your needs, what it is that you're looking for. So if you need the space and you need 7 seats, but you just want refinement and a lovely drive that can, you know, hit a bit of gravel, etc., then this is going to be your choice. Are you ready?
Makes me feel alive.
Dreaming about the things that we